emotions. Oh, and you were saying like to not invalidate your pain because then it makes it
Oh,
worse.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So invalidating the pain makes it worse. Um, Basically just like shooting on yourself never helps. Like, I
Yeah.
shouldn't feel this way. I should be over it by now. I should just move on. Like, if you're using should in your mind to like shame yourself, that's a good sign that you're just causing unnecessary suffering.
Yeah, that's a very good point because at a certain point, it's just like, all right, the past is what it is. And then there's no sense being like, oh, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Like it didn't happen that way. So just like go with what you have now and enjoy that, you know?
Yeah, take your power back from this present moment, and then you can make great choices moving forward, especially now if you have more knowledge and wisdom from whatever you've been through.
Yeah, that's true. Take all the lessons that you've learned and apply it to wherever you're going. And when you think about it, it's like all we truly have is this moment right now. You know, like yes, we have the memories and yes, we can think to the future, but what we're living in is what we might as well embrace and try to make the best of because you know, you could be excited for something like a party that's going to happen on Friday night, but you have the entire week to do cool things and like live your life. So if you're just so focused on Friday night, then it's just kind of, you know, kind of a waste of all the gifts we're given in the moment.
Right. There's a lot of healing to be found right here in this present moment. And it's where all your power is. Like how you said, like the past and the future are not real yet. The only
Mm.
thing is now. And then in 5 minutes, there's a new now. And then tomorrow, it's another now. And it's just always now. So now is your only opportunity to make any sort of change that you want to make to yourself or to your life. So definitely good to value the now and learn how to ground in the now. And doing that practice of sitting with your emotions is definitely one way to do that.
Mm, yeah, the sitting with the emotions is so cool because it's just like it's very freeing, you know. Feel
It's
very
super
like
liberating.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And my only guideline is that if it feels appropriate to express the emotion, that you're not hurting yourself or someone else. So, for example, let's use anger as an example. If you're feeling angry, you can go to a rage room and you smash things and you're not hurting yourself or anyone else. Or you can scream into your pillow, or you can chew bubblegum angrily, or you can throw water balloons at your house. Like, you can take a pool noodle to the bed. Like, there are lots of healthy ways to express it through the body so that you're not yelling at your spouse or beating up your kids or taking it out on your boss or whatever. And also, you're not
Yeah.
hurting yourself. You're just feeling how you feel, and you're not making it mean anything bad about you either.
Yeah, that's super, super healthy. And people have I've heard a lot of people say that they've gotten into boxing or martial arts and it's just like a really good channel to
Yeah.
get all of that out. Yeah, or even just like going to the gym, like you have a place to put that, you know, or
Mhm.
I was talking to my friend recently about journaling and she said that when she journals, whether she's happy, sad, anything, but especially if she's journaling and she's upset, she's like, I put it down on the paper and I feel like I get it out of me and then it's almost like it's the paper's problem, you know,
Right.
like it's not me anymore, it's out. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I thought that was a good tidbit of information. Like it was helpful. And journaling can help like a lot of people. Like you said, when you started to
Mhm.
do the grateful affirmation or the gratefulness in your journal, like it really was like a turning point. So
Yeah.
it's extra. I think it enforces whatever you're trying to do because now it's, you know, whenever you have a vibration and you say it and you speak it into the universe, then that's vibrating. But then now you're also writing it and it's like it's there permanently, pen and paper. So
Yeah, and your hand is a direct line to your subconscious mind. So you can use journaling to reprogram your mind, and you can use journaling to get things out of your mind into your conscious awareness too. So it works
Mhm.
both ways as a really helpful tool in the self awareness journey for sure.
And as an author, have you ever done what it's called is escaping me, but when you just start writing whatever and see where your mind takes you with it?
Yeah, so I've done this in the form of like mediumship where I like channeled my dead grandpa and I like was writing down information that he was giving me. But when I am writing books and stuff, I usually have to type it because I'm faster at typing and the information comes so fast that for me to write it with my hand, I'll lose pieces of information. Otherwise, I would do it that way because I do really like writing by hand and like channeling information that way.
Yeah, that's true. So like the mind works so fast, you could just be like,
Yeah.
getting everything
I'm
out.
just like do on my computer and then I read it back and I'm like, that shit is fire. What
Yeah.
the heck?
That's so awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, it's free. Is it free writing? I don't know. There's a word for it, but it's
I think
cool.
it's
Whatever
called
it is.
people call it different things like scripting or yeah, like free writing or
Yeah.
there's a lot of different words for it, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's basically like channeling whatever is coming up.
It's so cool. Yeah, we're so freaking cool as humans. Like, do you ever just get into a mindset where you're like, this is awesome, like this life that we're living?
Yeah, or more often than not, I'm just like, this is weird. Like being a human is so weird. Like we're weird. We're strange.
We are. We're a strange
But
bunch.
also it is like really fun. I'm like, I just love being a human and eating pasta or doing yoga or like all these pleasurable things. I'm like, this is why I reincarnated. I know it. I had to come back for all these earthly pleasures.
Yeah, I missed it down here. Like,
Yeah.
so cool. It's so cool. And do you think that we have certain like if we have like an irrational fear, do you think it could be like from a past life or like past trauma that we've had? Like if someone's deathly afraid of like I don't know, falling through a ceiling or something
Yeah,
like that.
I definitely think there is truth to that. I'm not super obsessed with past life stuff, but I have done some past life regression work and I have had certain people tell me about certain past lives that they think I had. And I always had an irrational fear of the ocean. Um,
Okay.
and I just asked my shaman friend who's really psychic, I was like, hey, like, tell me if I've died in the ocean or not before. And he's like, okay, let me look into like your records or whatever. And he was like, actually, yeah, and what's worse is that you like flatlined, but then when you came back, because someone like resuscitated you, like you were all alone. So you died and you were like lonely. And so that's why it was like such a traumatizing
Oh.
experience. And I was like, oh no. But then I was like, okay, this explains a lot because I've always been like terrified of the ocean. And even I'm like from San Diego and I wouldn't go that far out in the ocean. I would just dip my toes, or if it's like warm water, I'll go in a little more, but not for like long periods of time. I never liked surfing. Like anything like that. And when he explained that to me, I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And also, if you read the book Journey of Souls, there's a lot of stories in the beginning where people remember things that happened to them. Like, for example, some guy in a past life got shot in the throat by like some Native American tribe. And in this lifetime, it manifested as like pain when he spoke. It was like still a problem with his
Oh,
throat.
wow.
And then when they were able to like realize that or whatever, they were able to like heal it and clear it and stuff. But I do think some stuff can carry over, not as much as what people say, but some does, I
Yeah,
think.
I think yeah, I would have to I would agree in like in a certain sense. And I also think there's certain things just like evolutionarily that we, if we're afraid of heights or we're afraid of spiders, like that's probably how a lot of people died in the past. So it's just like
Right.
programmed into our
So
mind,
good to
like,
be
okay,
afraid of those things
yeah,
sometimes.
healthy fear. Yeah.
Yeah, people think that all fear is like should be eradicated, and it's like no, fear is important for staying alive. And fear is always telling you something. Sometimes it's telling you that you're gonna die, and sometimes it's like convinced that you're gonna die when you're actually not gonna die because there's so many less threats nowadays in this world that we live in. We're not gonna die from a spider bite usually, you know. We're not going around killing each other as much as we used to. So it's like okay, we're living longer, we're healthier, we have more antidotes for different things bad that happen to us. And so our brain still has that part that's made to protect us. So that's when we become really anxious and we just start worrying about what if I lose my job? Or what if I can't put food on the table?
Mhm.
What if I can't do this? What if I can't do that? And those things feel like potential death, even though they probably aren't. And so that part of your brain just finds different uses and assigns different things to be scared of.
Yeah, that is such a good point because it's so I've literally, when you have like you'll have kind of like a breakthrough and then you kind of like forget about it later and you have to be reminded. Like I think I did a podcast portion on this one time and it was just like, yeah, we used to have so many things like, hey, how can I not die today? And like let me look out for this and this and this, like way in the past, our ancestors. And now it's kind of just like life is great in most aspects. So our brain like has to, it's like, all right, well, what can I worry about?
It's
And like,
bored
what can I be
and
afraid of?
useless.
Yeah. Yeah. Your
Nobody
brain's like,
wants
all
to
right,
feel
look,
useless, not even your
no.
brain. Okay. It's like, okay, let me
Yeah.
get busy worrying about something here.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people could have it made and they still feel upset. So, it makes sense. It
Yeah.
definitely
And
makes sense.
just knowing that and realizing that is just a natural part of being human, then when you notice that you're doing that, you can just be like, oh, I'm just doing that thing again. My brain's just
Yeah.
trying to find things to be scared of.
Yeah, you could figure it out. And then you could channel that and be like, okay, since I'm already afraid of nothing, I might as well take a risk and be afraid of something.
Right. Since I'm already afraid of nothing. That's great.
Thanks. Um, I want to ask you a few more questions and
Hmm.
then you can, if you have anything that you want to say,
Yeah.
and I don't want to keep you too long. I know we started about an hour ago, but uh, let's see, I'm trying to find like what we haven't gone through yet.
Yeah. Whatever you want to ask, we got time.
Awesome, thank you. Um, okay, so I have a couple. Um, so I've definitely had this thought, and I know that I've heard other people talk about it. When we realize how powerful our thoughts are, we'll get scared, like, oh, I hope I don't manifest something bad. So, do you think that you could manifest something bad per se, or do you think that you're kind of just like blocking something good from coming in?
Yeah, this is a great question. So I try to teach people not to be afraid of the law of attraction because negative things manifest so much more slowly than positive things because the very nature of a negative thought is that it's heavy, it moves more slowly, it carries a lower vibration. So
Mm.
it doesn't like manifest as quickly in the 3D as like something positive or happy or loving. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Like you got time to like fix your mood or change your thoughts. Like it's not just gonna be like so instantaneous, like good things are. So that's one thing. And the other thing is like think of all the times when you had anxiety about something and it never happened.
Mhm.
Just
That's a
that
great
in and of
point.
itself is enough to be like, okay, I don't have to be scared of my thoughts. I've had plenty of bad thoughts and hardly any of them came true.
Yeah, that is very reassuring. I was looking up quotes because I like to see quotes from like people who are older, like in their 70s, 80s, to see like what they have to say about life. And this one man said, he said something along the lines of, I've had many troubles in my life, most of which never happened. And just like saying, like, don't worry, like you
Yeah.
don't need to be preoccupied and scare yourself. So I
Yeah.
like that a lot, what you said about the thoughts moving slowly, like the heavier thoughts, because yeah, we can always like when you have a burst of energy and you're so excited about something, then you have like all this motivation and all this like intense passion towards it. But then when you're kind of sad about something, you feel down and you just like feel slower or get into
Mhm.
like sometimes I would get into like analysis paralysis and literally like not be able to do anything because I'm just like thinking,
Right.
bad stuff.
And
So
this is just coming
it's
to me now, but honestly, the only time people should feel scared of like manifesting bad things is when they're denying how they actually feel. Because let's say you are stressed or anxious or mad or upset, if you deny and suppress that emotion, it doesn't just go away. It lives inside of you and it becomes a point of attraction. So then you're going to start manifesting things that make you upset, things that make you sad, things that make you angry, because that's what you're matched to, because that's what's inside of you.
mm,
The better way to handle it is to clear those emotions by feeling them, letting them live, expressing them in healthy ways, and then it's not inside of you anymore. And then that's not your point of attraction. So I would say if you're having negative thoughts or whatever, or worries, that's okay. You don't have to resist them. attraction. So it's not helpful.
You're so freaking right, because like we have a beautiful full spectrum of human emotions, and we might as well feel them all, you know. I think there's a lot of pressure to feel like you have to feel happy all the time, and then when we're not happy all the time we feel like we must be doing something wrong. And it's like, no, like life can be really hard, but you got to take the good with the bad. Like you were talking about before, the contrast of life is it's unceasing.
Yeah, we came here to get dirty in emotions. Like, you did not come here with the intention of, oh, I'm just only going to feel this one way all the time, my whole life. Like, no. And thinking that you should or will be happy all the time is a surefire way to never be really fully happy, because you're always going to be resisting how you actually feel. And you're not going to allow the full spectrum of emotion. And it's allowing the full spectrum of emotion without judgment, that's what gives you the freedom, and that's how you can keep coming back to happiness over and over and over.
Mm. Yeah, because then you can be like, all right, I felt like disappointed, angry, I grieved, you know, maybe I was a little happy here. And then you could be like, oh, back at happiness. Like, cool.
Yeah,
This
you just
yeah.
keep coming back. It's not a place that you're going to be in all the time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you seem like when you were feeling bad in the past, like did you like expect to be happy all the time and like disappointed yourself, or did you like kind of I don't know, like did you come out of it in a different kind of way than I don't know. I feel like my question is getting like messed up in my
Well,
head.
let me answer what I think you're wanting to ask. So, when I was depressed, looking at it in hindsight, I feel like my biggest quote unquote mistake, even though it wasn't a mistake, it all happened how it was supposed to, even though I didn't like it. Um, I would say the biggest mistake was that I didn't validate my pain or understand it. So it was just like always in the background, and I was just kept going on with life and kept not dealing with it. And that's what made it last like 3 years when it probably could have lasted like a couple hours.
Wow.
It's very, very different the way that I live now. Like, when I get upset, it'll be for minutes or hours or a day tops. Like, I usually won't stay in any emotion longer than that, just because I know how to like let it pass naturally. Because the emotional body knows how to heal itself, just
Mm.
like your immune system knows how to heal your physical body. It's exactly the same, except the difference is with our emotional body, we stop it from healing itself because we invalidate how we feel. We don't give ourselves time and space to feel how we feel. And so the healing can't occur when you're stopping the natural process.
And then when you have sometimes it takes minutes, sometimes it takes a day. When it takes minutes, do you think you're just letting it fully take over? And then like when it takes longer, like a day tops, do you think it's because you're resisting it more and it's just you're kind of like figuring out how to resist it? Or maybe does it depend on like the severity of the feeling?
I think you just answered it. It's both. I feel like it depends on the severity, and it depends on like how fully you allow it. But some things like you can't allow fully because you actually feel like you're gonna die. Like, if you're grieving, you might have to just do that in spurts. It's not just gonna all come out in 5 minutes and then you're over it.
Yeah. Yes, that is a very good point, because I just my boyfriend and I broke up like about a week and a half ago, and I've definitely like at, at first it was like the second, kind of like second big love that I've ever had. You know, you date like here and there, but I've had like two like great loves. And at the beginning I was like, I need to let myself cry. Like I need to let this healing process like take place, and I can't like resist it. Like I didn't let myself like dwell too much in that feeling or anything, as to not let it like become my like part of my day, like the whole day. But I definitely like let it happen, and then as I got it out and out and out, like it got easier. But then these past, I don't know, like 4 days I hadn't cried at all until I cried once yesterday, because I was like talking to my therapist, and I was just like, ah, I was like, oh wow, like lucky you, right? You get to be like around when I'm, messed kind of like messed up. But I think, yeah, you're right. If it's grieving, it's different than some other things, because you're going to have like super high moments, and then you're going to like think about, oh yeah, like I'm going to kind of miss this, or like this was a good thing that I feel like I kind of lost. But it's all, it's all relative, and it can all flow as it should.
Yeah, yeah. Grief is its whole own thing. So just give yourself the space and time to know that it's gonna go away and then it's gonna come back and it's gonna go away and then it's gonna come
Yeah.
back. And that's just how it is for a little bit when you're grieving. Because breakups are like a death, honestly. Like it's like the relationship died. That person might as well have died if you're not going to see them anymore. You know, like it's really traumatic. People do not give breakups enough credit for like how painful they are. They just
Yeah,
think,
imagine
oh,
the part.
it happens to everyone. But like, yeah, so what? It doesn't make it any less painful. It
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah. Exactly, it does suck. And, like, I had read you posted something, about your relationship now and, like, how you're super happy, so, like, could you tell a little bit about, like, how you knew, the previous one, like, wasn't for you and, like, how you kinda, like, m moved moved past it in, like, the healthy way that you did?
Yeah, so the universe basically pulled him out of my life and put him in a different country. So that's how I knew that he wasn't for me. He literally fled the country without me. So I was like, okay, bye. So he was gone whether I wanted him gone or not. So the
Yeah.
universe is like, okay, it's not this one. Flick him out of your life. And then I did a lot of mourning, a lot of grieving. I was very sad. I was very upset. I felt very used. The whole thing was really emotionally toxic. I was super confused. I didn't trust myself anymore because I was like, you chose this person who was mean to you and left you. Like, what the fuck? And so I had to do a lot of healing after that relationship. And that was honestly when I learned some of the most potent and practical self love practices that I teach, because I've done them a lot because I needed them. And so that took some time, and I was just like feeling really discouraged and sad and whatever. And then when I felt ready to like date again and I felt more open, it was still scary because I didn't want that same thing to happen again. I didn't want to be taken advantage of again. I didn't want to feel like I couldn't trust my own compass and pick a good partner again. So I was like, oh
Mhm.
gosh. So it was a journey of, like just going slow and watching for green flags and red flags now that I knew what some of them were, and just honoring myself in the process of dating and just keeping it real with the people that I was dating and telling them what I was looking for and what I wanted and what I needed and seeing if they were a match to that or not.
Yeah, it's really important to be honest so then everyone can be like on the same page, like,
Right.
okay, this is what I went through. Like, and I'm sure after, after the first one, like for a while, you were like, all right, I don't feel like dating, like I just want to like heal, like that's definitely kind of where I'm at now. I'm like, all right, I'm not like attracted to anyone and it's good because it's kind of like I get to be, focus on like my goals and my passions more and like spend time with my friends and family. So it's definitely like whether you're single or whether you're in a relationship, like I think it can teach you so much about yourself and about life. And there's definitely you could definitely grow while you're in or out of one, whether it's healthy or not. So I think it's important because a lot of people, like a lot of my friends, were going through one too, and then I just see the person that they blossomed into after, and it helped that they had gone through hard things in their relationships because now it's like okay, like they are more confident or they're doing things that they've wanted to do for a long time. So I think it's definitely really cool.
Yeah, and every quote unquote failed relationship leads you to more clarity of what you need and what you want in a relationship. So with each one, you gain more clarity and confidence and self knowing, and then you can really consciously choose a partner who's a really good match.
That is a very good point. There's a book, I don't know if it was I think it was by Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. And it's the three questions, and it was like, what is love? And there was two other big life questions, but I read it a long time ago, so I don't remember what they were. But yeah, clearly it impacted me a lot. No, I'm kidding, it did. But um, one of the with the what is love part, it was like you'll see what love is when you see what love is not. So you
Right.
can always have like back to I feel like the contrast is like a big theme of this talk that we're having today. In anything you can see like okay, this portion of this relationship, whether it be with myself, my partner, friends and family, like this portion is I could see that this is love, and then this portion is not, and I know because of how I feel when I'm in this situation. So it's definitely, yeah, you can take all the lessons and move forward with them.
Yeah, and I think it's helpful to do an inventory after every breakup and be like, okay, what was good about the relationship? What wasn't good? What worked for me? What didn't work? What did I like about this person? What didn't I like about this person? And from there, you can get a lot of insight.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it's super helpful. And everyone goes through it too, like everyone has a lot of pain, and some people have like a more long drawn out pain of it, and some people it's like a quicker healing, but nonetheless still like an intense pain. So I want to ask you, oh, it's 117. That's me and my mom's lucky number.
Nice.
I want to ask you one, hers was 711 for a while. And then like, I think my brother said in Roman, some kind of thing where you can reverse it and it'll be the same. So it's 117 also. So every time when it's like 117, I'll take like a moment to be grateful or,
Nice.
so things. So I want to ask you, one last thing, and then you can feel free to say like if you have anything you want to say or anything you want to talk about. So how do you think that we can use how do you think that we can use our power to the best of our ability, like in kind of a quick way? Because I feel like there's a lot of people that are a little bit impatient, and that's not, sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, but in this age of information where everything's kind of like, we have shorter attention spans, and people, if they don't get results quickly, they kind of feel discouraged. Like, what do you think is the best way to harness and own your power and reach your potential, in a timely, effective manner?
Yeah, so I feel like the number one question people can ask themselves when they make decisions in their life, and this is going to lead them to a lot of empowerment and doing things that are in alignment with their preferences, is to ask, like, which direction would feel like more long term relief? What's going to
Mhm.
make me feel good long term? What's going to open me up? So, for example, I don't know if you're choosing between one person or another to date, or if you're thinking of staying or leaving your job, or whatever it is, I would just say always move towards relief and move towards what feels good to you in the long term, because using your emotions as a compass is the most efficient way to live the life that you want to live.
Mm. That's very powerful. Yeah, you can look at a situation and kind of like feel it out and navigate through that instead of over analyzing in your mind or something like that.
Yeah, and you can use your mind too in the process, but the key is to have the mind and the heart connected and talking and uh, circulating information back and forth, not just shutting out the heart or shutting out the mind.
Mhm. Yeah, that's powerful. Like the horse and the rider. Like there's a book, The Laws of Human Nature, and it's like I think the rider is your brain and the horse is your emotion. So if you just let the horse go free, then you'll be kind of
Right.
unstable. And if it's just your brain, then you won't really get anywhere. So yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, letting your heart and your brain work simultaneously. And it sucks sometimes because like your heart really wants one thing, but your brain is like, no, we can't do that, or vice versa. So, so like, what do you? One more question. What do you think is the best way to like open up those channels? Like,
Mm, Sometimes I'll do like a meditation where I intentionally try to connect the two. So I'll like visualize
mm,
them like communicating and like energy circulating in a circle, like from above to the heart, from the brain to the heart, and just like going in circles. So they're like connected energetically. Um, and then also just like using both when I make decisions, like what feels better and what do I think is going to give me the most joy.
mm. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
you're super helpful. You've been just like an angel of a person. So thank you so much for all of
Thank you.
this.
I
Yeah,
do
of
what I
course.
can.
Is there anything that you'd like to say?
Yeah, I just want to. I mean, I know we said so much and covered so many topics. So I guess I just want people to, if they want to dive deeper into any of them, just connect with me. I'm on Instagram as Kelsey Aida. You can follow me there. I'm always dropping some fire in my stories. So that's where it's at.
That's true.
Also, you can get on my email list at kelseyAida.com. So whenever a new podcast episode of my podcast comes out, hi, Vibin It, I'll email you, or if I write a new article or do a new YouTube video or whatever. And yeah, go subscribe to High Vibin It, because if you liked this episode, you'll love all those episodes. And
Yes.
if you want personalized support, then I would say consider hiring me as a coach to help you through stuff, to help you love yourself more, to help you manifest your genuine desires. Or maybe come to Mexico on the retreat, because we got 2 retreats coming up. So all of that information is in my website.
Oh,
Just go to kelseyaida.com. And yeah, I'll see you guys over there.
yeah, that's perfect. That's a fact and a half. You literally within like a very short amount of time of us talking and me like I feel like I almost feel like I'm like Zoom calling with a famous person right now, because I've been watching you and like I'm watching your stories and like I show my mom and she's super into the law of attraction too as of like the past recent years and her one of her best friends gave her the book. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called Ask and You'll Be Given. And she takes a lot from that. And when I was watching one of your Q&As, my mom was like, "Oh wow," she's like, "Keep following this girl. Like she really knows what she's talking about, and she sounds like super positive and yeah, super informed." So yeah, everyone, you guys should definitely like check her out. And I'll leave all of your handles in the show notes and everything. And I definitely want to get more into High Vibe in it because I've checked it out a little bit, but I want to like, I'll go from like one podcast and then like go from another because I drive a lot. So I'm super excited
Yeah,
for that
listen to the show.
to
Leave
listen
us
to
a
it.
review if you like it. Don't leave us a review if you don't like. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if you don't like it, it's probably you. No, okay.
If you don't like it, that's cool, but just don't write it in the reviews, please and thank you. But most
Yeah,
people love it. I mean, there was like one person who was like, "These girls have too much chit chat," but that's like the only bad review we got, and everyone else is like, "This show is fire. You gotta listen to it. It makes my Mondays so high vibe, so positive." So it's a fun show. It's a place where we talk about spirituality, personal development, self improvement, and it's like hanging out in a room with me and my friend Lindsay, and she's a certified hypnotherapist, and getting a bunch of free advice for an hour every week. So yeah, go check it out.
yeah, that's awesome. And Monday is a good day to start and good day to like motivate yourself because you got the whole week.
Yeah,
So it's perfect.
yeah,
Well,
that's when
thank
the
you
new
so much,
episodes are.
Kelsey.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was super fun. And I hope that everybody listening really enjoyed it and got a lot of value out of it.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming on. And yeah, this is awesome. And I look forward to watching your stuff and maybe we could do something again sometime soon. So
Yes.
thank you so much. Appreciate it. And thank you everyone for tuning into Train Your Brain podcast, where you can enhance your mindset to enhance your life. Got to do the little
Yeah,
outro.
girl.
And thank you. Well, I will see you soon. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.